Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. Again, we are in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Right now, we are in the middle of winter 2023. Well, we're actually moving towards the end of the winter season, but the temperatures are becoming warmer and warmer. Today, we are expecting to reach in the low 60s. 61 degrees is the expected high for today. Right now, as you see, it is still cloudy and kind of breezy. But I thought that today, with us approaching such warm temperatures, it will be the perfect opportunity to plant a very underrated vegetable from seed. It is a vegetable that is very easy to grow, very easy to harvest, and in fact, it grows in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks from the time you sow the seeds directly into your soil. And that vegetable is your radish, you guys. I personally love growing and eating radish. So today we are going to grow 2 varieties of radish. The first variety is your German giant radish variety, and our second variety will be the crimson giant variety. So come with me and let's sow these seeds directly in my raised flower bed. So come with me. So radish is a hardy root vegetable, mainly known for its colorful, crisp, and peppery tasting roots. This vegetable can be planted multiple times a year as long as the air temperature does not exceed roughly 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So radish is also an annual root vegetable. It's a part of your cabbage family of vegetables. So what does that mean? So what are some other vegetables that are in the same family variety? We have your cabbage, your broccoli, your collard greens, your kale, your cauliflower, and some consider horseradish to be a part of the same family. So the 2 ideal seasons in the year for planting radish are 1, spring, 2, fall. Why? Because radish likes cooler, milder air temperatures. The ideal temperature for growing radish is somewhere in the low to mid 50s. Summer, or the season where air temperature exceeds 70 degrees Fahrenheit, is the wrong season to grow radish, as it will not thrive and it will not produce the crispy, large radish that you want to grow. So another fact and or tip on growing radish is that you need to choose a sunny location in your garden. By sunny, I mean 6 or more hours of sunlight per day. Also, radish is a root vegetable that does not like to be overwatered. What overwatering will do is that it'll cause a dilution of your flavor. So you will not be tasting that crispy, peppery tasting radish. It'll taste more like water, and all the overwatering will cause your radish to crack, which is not something that we want to do when growing radish. So again, radish is one of the easiest vegetables to grow. It does not require any transplanting, any fertilization, any constant continuous maintenance, not at all. You sow the seed directly into the soil, you water it, and you watch it grow. And it grows really quickly too. You could start collecting, harvesting your radish in as little as 3 weeks after you plant the seeds in your soil. So depending on which radish varieties you're choosing to purchase and to grow in your home garden will determine how deep your rows or your holes for your seeds need to be. So if you have chosen and purchased the smaller radish varieties, then your rows or your holes do not need to exceed 1/3 to 1/2 inch in the depth. If you chose to purchase and plant larger radish variety, like I will be doing today, one of the varieties that I will be planting today is the German Giant, which the name speaks for itself. The radish, when mature, should be on the larger size. My rows or my holes for my seeds will have to be at least 1 inch in depth. So if you choose to plant your radish in the spring, like I am doing here in zone 7A, I am planting 4 to 6 weeks before the anticipated last frost date. Our anticipated last frost date for this year is sometime around April 15th. And if you guys choose to plant your radish in the fall, try to plant 4 to 6 weeks before your anticipated first frost date. So here in zone 7A, our first frost date is sometime around October the 15th. So radish is a root vegetable which prefers to grow in rich, loose, well-draining soil that does not have any clay and or sand in it. So what am I going to do prior to sowing my seeds directly into my raised garden bed soil? I am going to loosen up the soil since this garden bed has been sitting here not touched since last fall when I prepped it for the winter season. So I'm gonna loosen up the soil. I'm gonna add some of my Land and Sea organic compost into the soil, mix it in diligently, and then I'm going to make my rows and of course add my seeds. So here I am using my handy garden tool to loosen up some of the soil that again has been sitting here untouched, unused since last planting season. I am going to get rid of any debris such as leaves, little pine needles, anything and everything that could potentially get in the way of growing my radish. Now I am going to add my organic compost, the Land and Sea. I showed you this compost in a previous video when I spoke about my top favorite organic fertilizers for my garden. So this is the Land and Sea. So I'm just going to sprinkle it into the soil and mix it in thoroughly. So I'm adding some of the compost onto my garden bed. And kind of mixing it in with my soil. This will give my existing soil an extra boost of vitamins and nutrients. Like so. So now that I added the Land and Sea organic compost to my existing soil in my garden bed, I am diligently mixing it in with the soil to make sure that every corner of my raised garden bed gets this compost. So to make your rows for your radish, remember your rows have to be between 1/2 to 1 inch in depth. So the two easiest ways of creating your rows is one, using your hands, and as you push into the soil, you make that perfect row. Or I purchased this tool at my local Target store. It is called a garden dibber, and it is very easy to make your rows using this tool, like so. Again, you use the point, you push, and you make a perfect row. So here I opened my German giant variety of seeds, and I wanted to show you exactly what radish seeds look like. So this is how I like to plant them. Remember, again, the rule is that most of these seeds will germinate and will grow, as radish seeds have very high succession rates in their germination. As you could see, I sprinkled my radish seed directly into my row that I just created. Here is the other row. I just simply sprinkled the seeds inside my rows. Now I will cover up the rows with the soil like so and water my seeds. So my raised garden bed is 100% finished. I am done planting my two varieties of radish, the German Giant and the Crimson Giant. As you could see, I labeled my raised garden bed with 2 labels so that when the radish will sprout and grow, I will know exactly which variety is growing where. And now all I have to do is watch it grow. So this is it for this video, you guys. Thanks for joining me and letting me show you how I sow and grow my radish in my backyard garden from seed. If you like this video, please click thumbs up. Please leave your comments below. I love reading about your gardening tips and your experiences. And again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you will not miss any of the new upcoming videos. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time in gardening in Cold Spring Harbor.